Hello, hello, anybody there? If you are there and you can hear me, just leave a comment. Okay, so probably I will just wait for people to join. Hello, hello, anybody there? If you are there and you can hear me, just leave a comment. So probably I will just wait for people to join. Hello, hello, anybody there? All right, so if you can hear me, please leave a comment. Leave a comment if you can hear me. And if you can see my screen, just leave a comment. We are going to be starting right away, but I just want to know. I can see three persons watching, so just leave a comment. If you can hear me, please, can you leave a comment? Okay, I can see Mr. Darling loud and clear. All right, so which means you can hear me. All right, so this is 8:30, and we're going to be starting right away without wasting any time. So this video will be up here on YouTube, and you can come back and rewatch it if you want. So I'll just go ahead and share my slide. Okay, so the whole purpose of this gathering is to talk about just one thing, about starting your tech journey. You agree with me that it's very hard if you have been a beginner, or probably you are a beginner, you agree with me that it's very hard to start a tech journey, especially when you don't have a guide, and with the tons of information on the internet. If you don't know the right questions to ask, you can just be roaming around, and some people quit along the line and say tech is not for them. I can't do this. No way, this is too hard. And that's just because they don't know how to start. They are not asking the right question, or they don't have anybody to take them through the path. So that's why we're having this gathering, is to actually take you through the path on starting your own tech journey. So I like to tell a story about myself. So I actually started tech 5 years ago. Wow, 5 years. So I started tech 5 years ago, and I started with learning how to use Photoshop when I just got my first computer. And everything about the computer fascinates me. So I wanted to learn everything I came across, and you agree with me that there's no way you can make progress by learning everything. So from editing with Photoshop, I started learning 2D animation with Adobe Animate, and then I started designing with Corel Geographic Design. I found myself in photography, taking pictures, editing pictures, and then 2023 was when I became intentional about my journey and said, I just want to pick one thing and focus on that thing. So I started learning how to code, web development. And since then, just 1 year of focusing on just one thing, I can tell you the growth has been very tremendous. So one thing you must avoid when starting out your tech journey is to hold your curiosity, because so many people are very curious. Like, there are two categories. The first category, they are very curious, they want to know everything. And then the second category don't know how to start at all. Let me give you an analogy. If you are going to learn how to bake, it's easy to know what a baker does. You know, a baker is going to bake bread, cakes, and you know the kind of job a baker will get. But when you are starting tech, it's kind of hard to figure out what you'll be doing. And there are a lot of fields in tech. Tech is a very broad industry, and it's very overwhelming for people when they want to start. So let me walk you through the outline this um, of this video, of this gathering. So we are going to explore various tech skills, and then we are going to move on to choosing the right skill. We are going to talk about what you should consider when choosing the right skill. And then we are going to understand the different learning paths, because after choosing the right skill, you actually have to start learning. And then we are going to talk about paths and opportunities, which is my main point of focus in this gathering. And then, of course, the technical skills are not enough. We're going to talk about other skills that are needed for you to succeed, and then we're going to move to Q&A. So if you are still there and you can hear me, I just want you to type go ahead in the comment section. Just type go ahead on the comment section so I can know you are with me. And let's move on. You can hear me, just type go ahead or leave a like or something or an emoji. Okay, is anybody there? I think just I'm the only person here before we have Mr. Andafa and David here. So I'm just going to move on, but this video will be up and you can always come back to rewatch it. Okay, so all right, so what are the available tech skills? Okay, so Shiamaka is there, go ahead. Okay, so at least I have somebody watching. If you are, if there's anybody else on this live chat, please just say go ahead also. But however, I'm going to move on because we don't have time. You can always come back and watch this video. So there are different varieties of skills in tech, and now I want to look at the skills that are available and their application. So if you go to if you open a new tab, open a tab on your browser and search for career paths in tech, you see stuff like web development, game development, AI, machine learning. You see a lot of skills. Now, these skills that are classified as career paths, I'm actually calling it skills, and I've been able to group those skills into three parts. So we have coding and programming, we have creative and design, and then we have engineering and physical technologies. So I'm going to move on to the next slide where we're going to talk about coding and programming. So what are the available fields in coding and programming? So the most popular field, the most popular skill for you to learn in coding and programming is software development. So software development actually deals with writing code to create applications or software for different platforms. So we have web development under software development, we have game development, we have desktop app development, we have mobile app development, and we also have what we call system software development, like the development of operating system, like we have the Windows operating system, Linux, and Mac OS. So this part of software development deals with developing low-level software. So if you are still there, I want you to drop a comment on the comment section. I just want to know if you are with me and you are following. So drop a comment on the comment section about what I just said. One thing you just heard me say about software development. Can you drop a comment so I know you are with me? All right, so I'm just going to move on, however. So that's for software development. So we also have data analysis and visualization. So the reason why I'm taking my time to explain the details of all these keys is to give you an idea of what you'll be doing if you decide to take any of these skills and learn it. So data visualization is the process of examining data to find patterns, insights, trends in order to make meaningful decision. Then after making your decision, you have to present it visually for it to be understood by others. Okay, so I have Shiamaka there. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to continue moving on. So that's data analysis and visualization. You deal with the analyzing of data. You take a data, you clean it, you analyze the data to find patterns and trends in order to make decisions. It can be a data a sales data of a business and you want to figure out the month or the year that business made the highest sale, you have to analyze the data and look for trends where they make the most sales. So that's just that's what you'll be doing if you going into data analysis. So um, if you are interested in solving problems and then mathematics, um, paying attention to detail. You are a very patient person. Of course, patience is required for any tech skill you want to learn. But basically, if you are interested in solving problems, problem solving is also very crucial. Then, and if you are good at taking decisions, yes, you can explore data analytics. And if you enjoy writing code, of course, you go for software development. But almost all of this field in coding and programming, you always be writing code. I think almost every field in tech, coding is a very important aspect. So you need to learn how to code. Let's move on. And then we have data science. So just like data analysis, data science also deals with the examining of data. The only difference is that after examining your data, you don't just make meaningful decisions, but you use those data in training AI model to make predictions. So that's what data science is all about. You take a data and use that data to train a machine learning model to be able to make predictions and find trends and patterns without explicitly programming it. Okay, so let's move on. That's data science. So data science and machine learning kind of goes together. There's no way you are going to learn machine learning without having knowledge of data science. So next on the list is AI and machine learning. Yeah, thank you so much, Yamaka. Examining data and visual presentation. That's for data science and data analytics and visualization. So the next on the list is AI and machine learning. So I just talked about machine learning. It deals with training models to be able to make predictions based on the data you have trained the model with. Then for AI, AI simply means simulating human intelligence in machines. That's why it is called artificial intelligence. It's teaching machines how to learn and carry out tasks on their own and think just like humans. That's where you get the name from, artificial intelligence. It's intelligence, but not actual real human intelligence. It's artificial. So let's move to next on the list, and we have cybersecurity. Cybersecurity focuses on protecting system, networks, and data from cyber threats and unauthorized access. So that's what cybersecurity is all about. It's all about protecting data on the internet, protecting stuff. Cybersecurity, just like the name implies, security. You try to secure a network, secure a data from unauthorized access and threats. So just drop a comment, drop a comment. I want to know if you are with me. Drop a comment. I want to know if you are with me. Drop a comment just to know if you are with me. Okay, so however, let's move on. And then we have cloud computing and DevOps. So I just have six on my list, but of course, one thing I want you to do after this live session is to make your own research. So research is a very important part of starting your tech journey. You have to make research for the available skills that you can learn and what area you can use them. So I've given you some skills and their use cases like software development for developing web apps, games, desktop, mobile apps, system softwares, and we have data analysis that deals with the examining of data and presenting it visually. We have data science, which deals with uh, taking data and using it to train a model to make predictions. And then we have AI, which is simulating human intelligence. And then we have cyber security, protecting data, network, and stuff on the internet. And then we have, yeah, thank you so much, Yamaka. Cyber security, data protection, yeah. And then we have cloud computing and DevOps. So what is cloud computing? Just like the name implies, cloud computing. So if you have ever upload a file to, let's say, Google Drive or even Microsoft OneDrive or any cloud storage, it means you have interacted with cloud computing. Cloud computing simply means using resources over the internet, the resource of other computer. It can be their storage, their processing power, memory, which is RAM. So instead of relying on your local resources, your computer local resources, you use the resources of other computers over the internet. That's what cloud security means. And then we have DevOps engineering, which is actually automating software development process and IT process. So if you are interested in this field, um, what you'll be doing as a cloud computing engineer or DevOps engineer is that you are going to be managing network, databases, deployment process. So those are the kind of things you'll be doing. So if you are interested in that field, you can make more research about these fields. So this is just an overview of the fields in coding and programming, or the skills rather, and the use cases where you can use them, where they thrive. So we have cloud computing and DevOps, cyber security, AI and machine learning, data science, data analytics and visualization, and software development, which involves web development. So just to strengthen my explanation of what I just said about software development, web development means developing software that runs on a browser. And then we have game development, which can be either 2D games or 3D games. We have desktop apps, of course, that's obvious. Apps that runs on your laptop or a desktop computer. Then we have mobile app like your Android and iOS app. And then we have system softwares like operating systems. All right, so let's move on to the next slide, and we have creative and design. So this is pretty straightforward because we can relate to most of the skills under this category. So we have graphic design, dealing with fonts, colors, typographies to communicate. So if you are still with me, drop something about what I just said on the comment section. So we're talking about graphic design, use fonts, shapes, colors, and typography to communicate. That's what graphic design is all about. And then we have UI and UX. So UI and UX, they are responsible for designing the static structure of a web page before giving it to a software developer to develop. So that's the job of a UI and UX designer. They design websites, but static website, just like a normal graphic design, but in the context of applications. Okay. And then we have animation and motion design, so creation of cartoons. So you see those cartoons you watch on TV. If you are interested in cartoons and maybe you have thought of how can I create cartoons, here's how you can create cartoons. You can create cartoons by learning animations and motion design. Just pictures, putting pictures together at different frames that move. Maybe you can try this. Take a camera and just ask somebody to snap you picture. The first picture, take a step and tell the person to snap you again, taking your next step. Take plenty pictures while taking steps forward. And then when you are done, just scroll through the pictures very fast. You see it becomes like a video. So the idea of animation and motion graphics is putting pictures together with different images to form a video. That's what animation and motion graphics is all about, creating cartoons and motion design and graphics. Then we have photography and videography. Of course, we know what photography is, taking pictures, we know what videography is, taking videos. These are all fields we can relate with. The creative and design category, all the skills under our skills we can relate with. It's very easy. So then the third category, we have engineering and physical technologies. So we have electronics and hardware. So if you are interested in developing electronics and hardware, you can learn about that, learn about the basics of electronics, how to light up an LED, how to use breadboards, how circuit works. So if you are interested in hardware technology, this one field you can go into. This is one of the skills you can learn. And then we also have robotics. So creating robots to automate tasks that should be usually done by humans. So robotics is a field of multiple discipline. These skills you have, if you want to learn robotics, you have to have other skills like coding, electronics, and engineering. So these are the skills that are involved in learning robotics. And then we have Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is this field deals with being able to control um, hardware devices over the internet. So let's take for example, let's say you have a fan, and just imagine that your fan is in Canada, and then you are in, let's say, Florida. You can actually take your phone and turn on your fan in Canada. That's what Internet of Things is. You control a device through over the internet without even being there. You don't have to interact with it directly. All right, so just to know if you are with me, please drop something on the comment section, drop an emoji, just say something. I just want to know who is with me. Automating tasks and their skills are coding, okay. All right, so I'm just going to move along. And then, what are the factors to consider when choosing this skill? Okay, so you have to consider your goals and interests. So I'm going to use myself as an example. So before I started learning how to code, my goal was actually to, I know I have interest in anything that has to do with tech. That interest is there. But then my goal for learning how to code was actually to build something. So I wanted to build a software of my own. So that was what motivated me into coding. So you want to think about your long-term goals if you are working, if you want a job, or you want to go into entrepreneurship. And we're going to talk more on that when we get to paths and opportunities. And then you want to consider the resources. So some of these skills have very limited resources for a beginner to start learning. So you want to consider the resources, if there are enough resources and community behind the skill you want to learn. So what you can do to checkmate that is to look for a free crash course on YouTube on how to learn that skill. And if you can find a lot of crash course, search for articles online and say, go to communities and see if there are people learning that skills there. Then you know that there are a lot of resources and support available for you, if you make your journey, your learning journey more easier. All right. And then we have learning curve. So what is learning curve? Learning curve simply means the difficulty of difficulty level of the skill. So some skills are relatively easy to learn and some skills are very hard to learn. So if you will be going to um, some areas like machine learning. There are things you are going to learn like applied mathematics. And I know people don't like hearing mathematics. Even me, I'm a programmer, but I still don't like math. I don't like math that much. But if you are going to go into areas like AI and machine learning, there's no way you are going to escape it. So some skills are very can be very hard to learn, while some are very easy to learn. So you want to consider the learning curve, consider your time if you have the time to give to that skill to actually learn it. So those are some of the things you can consider. So before I move on, I want you to drop a comment on the comment section just to know if you are with me. Drop a comment on the comment section. Yeah, I can see Blessing Anthony. Shiamaka has been there. Internet of Things. Yes, Internet of Things. That's one of the skills you can learn in tech. And please, there are a lot I'm not listing out. You should do your research. There are a lot I'm not listing out. There are a lot I'm not listing out. But the reason why I'm taking my time to list some few and giving you an overview of what you can use those skills for is because uh, there was a training I was involved in this year, and two students came from the trade for the training. And could you believe that one of the students does not even know what he applied to learn? So he applied for quality assurance, and his friend was asking him, "What is quality assurance?" He said, "Don't worry, when we start the class, we are going to know what is quality assurance." I was amazed, and at the same time, it was so funny that you want to learn something, but you don't have any idea about what you want to learn. You shouldn't do that. Before you go into a tech, any field in tech, before you start learning a tech skill, you have to investigate that skill, try to check for jobs in that area, try to check for the resources. And the first thing you should consider is your goals and interests, if it aligns with that skill you want to learn. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next slide. And then we have so many learning paths, but you can learn from documentations, articles, but I've listed just three. So the first one we have is video courses. Of course, you can learn from video courses. There are a lot of online learning platforms like YouTube. Please, if you are going to be successful in tech, make YouTube your best friend. In fact, before getting a premium course, the first thing you should do is to search for a free crash course on YouTube and just take it and practice along with the course to see, so just to checkmate your interest. So while doing it, if you feel like, oh God, this thing is not for me, then you want to reconsider going into that field. But I see a lot of people, they just go ahead, go to Udemy or Coursera or any online platform that sells courses and just buy a course, and then they don't even take the course. So first thing you should do after deciding which skill you want to learn, go to YouTube and watch a video just to give you an idea of the tools you'll be using in that skill, and just an overview of that skill actually. So then we have boot camps, coding boot camps. Of course, you can learn from boot camps, register for a boot camp. And then we have university degrees and formal education. So university degrees and formal education, a lot of people like going for this because this is actually the conventional way of learning something, right? And then some people don't go for it because it can be very, very expensive. So, and there's a debate that if you want to learn a skill, should you learn from bootcamp, video courses, or go for degrees? And some people feel like if you don't have a degree, you cannot be successful in the skill. But that's not true. The bottom line of it is competence. If you want to be successful, you have to show competence. You have to show that you know how to do it. So if you have a degree in a field or in a skill and you don't know how to use that skill, then your degree is just for waste. So let's take coding for example. There are a lot of computer science. I've seen a lot of computer science students who don't know how to write code. They know the theory, but they don't know the practical. So the bottom line is knowing how to do it. It does not matter there's any part you want to take, is knowing how to do it. But what if you have both the degree and then the technical skills? That's what I would suggest. I'm currently taking a software development degree online on BYU pathway. So because taking a university degree can be very expensive, that's why institutions like BYU pathway exist to bridge the gap. So they provide affordable online certificates and degrees across different fields. So the link is on the description. If you like to check it out, please do just click the link. It will take you to their website and you can see the available degrees if you're interested in any, and you can also reach through their website or contact their support for extra information. All right, so I just want to know if you are following along. Please drop a comment on the comment section. Drop something on the comment section. Just write something on the comment on the chat section. Write something on the chat section. Okay, I noticed that it takes a while for the comments to appear, so I'm just going to move on. And now we have paths and opportunities. So like I said, if you search for career paths in tech, you are going to see what I just listed as skills. But the route I'm going to take in this gathering is that paths are actually um, your interest. If you want a job, or you want to build a personal brand, or you want to be an entrepreneur, so those are the paths available. And on the other side of the table, we have the opportunities available in those paths. So if you are going to get employed, one of the employment, if you are going to take the employment route, of course, you are going to one of the opportunities is job. You are going to look for job, and so you are going to come across lots of job opportunities. And then you are also going to be a specialist. You are going to, if you are going to get a job, know that you are going to specialize in an area. You don't have to be a generalist if your goal is to get a job. Then if you are going to take the entrepreneurial approach, the entrepreneurial part, then you have opportunities like ownership opportunities, wealth and influence. And you can see some of the tech billionaires. And if you check the description, you see that there's a link to a WhatsApp community. Now, the reason that WhatsApp community exists is to raise competent individuals in tech who will actually take the second part, the part of entrepreneurship in tech. So if you are going to do that, okay, see, if you are going to build a business in tech, it's either you have the money to hire people who will do it, or you are going to do it yourself. If you are going to do it yourself, it means you are going to equip yourself with the skills. And unlike the employment part, having the technical skill is not enough. You're also going to need the skill of an entrepreneur to successfully build a business. So that's just the difference. And then we have personal brand. So if you want to focus on creating content, education, then you are building a personal brand. And then the opportunities you have is one of the opportunities you have is expert recognition. You are going to be recognized as an expert in your field because you're actually teaching the skill. And I think for me, the part I'm currently taking is the second part and the third part, the entrepreneur part and personal brand part. So if you are there with me, uh, I want you to leave a comment on the chat section. Leave a comment on the chat section. So please, if you are interested in joining a tech community like that, use the link on the description below and join the community. That's the reason why we exist, to raise people who will take the entrepreneurial part and personal brand part. We know a lot of people who take the part of employment, but if we are going to shape the tech ecosystem, it need leaders who will actually build business. So we have role models like that in the world. People like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. These are tech entrepreneurs that builded their products from scratch. We also have somebody like Steve Jobs. Okay, so I just want to know if you are with me. Drop a comment on the chat section, but I'm going to move on to the next slide. So, like I said in the outline of this gathering, the technical skills are not enough. Even if your goal is just to get a high-paying job, which is the number one reason why a lot of people get into tech. And I just want to shift this in. So, if you are coming into tech with the idea of just making money, like you are seeing tech as a get rich quick scheme, which are which is the reason why most people come into tech, because they think there's a lot of money in tech. And people who actually want to just sell resources to them make it seem easy, that it's just easier to come into tech and start making money. No, it's not like that. Even getting a job, you have to put in the hard work, learn, practice, build a portfolio. Yes, so building a portfolio is very important while learning. So while learning, you must build a portfolio, document everything you do, have a portfolio, whether you are going to take the entrepreneurial part, personal branding part, or employment part. Right, so I think the network is back. The network is back. I was having some network issues before. So just to know if you are still with me, please drop a comment on the chat section. I just want to know if you are with me. Just drop a comment on the chat section about what I just said about building a portfolio. Just to know if you got that. Drop a comment. Drop a comment. I want to know if you are with me. Drop a comment. All right, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on. You can always come back and rewatch rewatch the video after the streaming. So one of the soft skills you need is communication skills and networking skills. So for developers, for not just developers, even for most tech enthusiasts, I think for you to be successful in tech, you have to isolate yourself, stay indoors, write code 24 hours. That's not true. Communication skills and networking skills are great skills to shape your career regardless of the path you are taking. So if you are going to be working with a team, your ability to communicate is very crucial. Even in an interview, if you lack communication skill, there's a chance that you are not going to get a job even when you have a solid portfolio. And then networking skill. So there's a research that shows that out of 100 percent of people who applied for job, 70% applied through job posting, and only few percentage apply through networking. Like, and yeah, so according to the research, 13% of people get a job through networking, apply for jobs through networking, which means somebody can um, introduce you to their hiring manager. And guess what? Those 13% always end up securing a job more than the 70% that applies from a job posting. So networking skills is very important, can help you get a job and open a lot of opportunities to you. So as a beginner in tech, you must network. And one of the way you can network is to join communities. Join communities. Just seeing people who share the same vision with you keeps you motivated even while going through all those in learning a tech skill. So we have problem solving and critical thinking. So for problem solving and critical thinking, this skill is very important. If you want to pursue a career in tech, you must be good at solving problem and you must know how to think critically. Your ability to find your way around a problem is very crucial to your success. And then we have teamwork and collaboration. So you must be able to work with people. You must be able to work with people. If you can't work with people, there's no way you can. One of the soft skills that hiring managers look for is teamwork and collaboration. Your ability to work with a team and get the job done. So if you are going to a field like software development, there is a tool called Git and GitHub, and it's actually used to collaborate with other developers. So just know that you always be working with a team and collaborating with um, other individuals in if you are going to pursue a career in tech. So before I move on, I want to know if anybody is still with me. I want to know if anybody is still with me. If you are with me, drop a comment on the chat section. Drop a comment on the chat section. All right. However, I'm going to move on. And then we have growth mindset. So you must be flexible and ready to adapt to changes because the technology industry is growing very fast. So you are going to be learning a lot of new tools and technology just to stay relevant in your career. And this skills applies to all the parts you are taking. Does not matter the path you are taking, if you are going to take the employment part, the entrepreneur part, or the part of building a personal brand. These skills are very crucial to your success. Then we have time management and organization. So I like to tell a story. So last year, there was a job I applied for, and then I was asked to build a single page application in 2 days. And then because that's the first time I applied for a job and I was given a test, it was so overwhelming. And then I mismanaged my time. I was able to get the task done, but not on time. So, but later I discovered that what I could have done is to split the task into smaller parts and then achieve each step. That way it will be easier. So time management is one of the skills you need to be successful as a beginner who wants to start a career in tech. then we have leadership. So if you are going to um, gain promotion, you have to show strength in leadership, your ability to lead others, to inspire others to um, do the right thing and to get the job done. So leadership skill is another important skill you need. So that's it. I've gotten to the end this um, of this gathering. So before we finally call it off for today, I want to know if there's anybody there and you have a question. You can drop your question on the chat section and I'll answer it. So I'm waiting to see if there's anybody there. You have a question. You have a question. Anybody there with a question? All right, so just a recap of what we talked about. We talked about the available skills and their uses. We talked about what to consider to choose the right skills. We talked about the available learning paths. We talked about paths, and then we talked about other skills, additional skills you can learn. You can add to your technical skills to be successful. So you can reach out to me. So okay, no question for now. All right. So you can reach out to me if you have a question. If you need assistance with getting to BYU pathway, and then you want to join the community, just use the link in the description, and you can reach out to me across social media. So I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as Live by Your Magbemi. You just search for Live by Your Magbemi and you find my profile. So all right, thank you for joining this gathering. I'm going to end this stream now. Make sure you share this video with somebody you think is interested in starting a career in tech, and then make sure to like and also subscribe. Thanks a lot.